Good morning slash afternoon.
It's afternoon already,
No, it's still morning.
depending on where you live in the world, right?
Yeah.
Well,
How are
John
you?
is in the hospital. He has
What?
pneumonia, I know. So he will not be joining us today, but he's doing better. He's very good.
So was this like COVID to pneumonia or straight to pneumonia or what?
We don't really know, but he got COVID 5 weeks ago and just never really recovered all the way.
Oh man.
So
How
they
long
don't
has it
really know.
been?
Just yesterday, he just kept getting worse and worse.
I'm so sorry.
Me too.
I will
I'm
add him
glad
to
that thank you. I'm glad he's feeling better. Yeah.
okay. So
Ugh.
he's on the antibiotics and all that stuff and
Yeah. They put him on the IV. It's no joke.
oh wow. Okay. I'll add him to my prayer list. Yeah. Pneumonia is not a joke.
Mm-mm.
So did you get COVID when he got COVID or
Yes.
oh
Everybody in the
again?
house got it. Yeah, it kicked my butt, but of course I have an immune system and he doesn't, so yeah.
Wow. So this is the second time for both of you, or
Yeah, wait, I'm trying to think.
I
Yeah.
remember you had it. There was one time you had it and you were staying upstairs. So,
Mhm. That was in 2021.
yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
But yeah, get the booster, get the shots. I think that will really help.
I want to, but I've got a couple of doctors right now telling me not to because I'm having some blood tests for some other issues. And they're like, you should probably wait till we figure out what's going on. So
Sometimes the shot can mess up your whatever.
I want to get it. I mean, I've had every one up until April 22nd, 2022, but so I missed the bivalent. So I've got the next appointment. Well, I've got some blood labs back. I've got an appointment the 27th of November. So I'm
Okay,
gonna ask, it's like, can I get the flu shot and the COVID shot now or what?
right.
So I mean, I've just been laying low, staying at home, wearing a mask everywhere I go, and
I think that's smart. I think I was getting kind of lazy about it.
well, but I'm not gigging, and if you're gigging, how do you sing? You can't show up on stage with a mask on and sing into a microphone, right? Can you?
I'm just exposed with so many people. So,
Yeah, well, teaching, I mean, you could choose to wear one at teaching.
yeah,
I have a friend who still, well, at my old school, he still wears one while he teaches.
I think that's smart. At
Yeah.
Stones Hill, I have these beautiful plexiglass things in between each piano station, so that's good. That
Yeah,
really helps.
that that stops the droplets, but not the aerosols. So, no,
But
I
there's
just re
really a lot of singing in those classes. A lot of singing.
no, that's good. That's good. Yeah, just as long as they're not coughing and sneezing. So,
Yeah, they if anyone seems to get sick, they usually stay home. That's what I've been seeing.
oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
The school I worked at, the parents were like super rich. And, they had the thought if my kid doesn't have a 4.0 GPA, they're not getting into the Ivy League school. And
Okay.
so therefore they can't miss school. So this was before COVID. So they would send them sick all the time. I was just like, and so I was getting everything they had. My immune system's not that great. So I was always getting sick.
I think if you're exposed, then your immune system has a chance to fight it off, right? Once it's fought off something, then it's good most of the time.
I hope so, but yeah. I mean, we got 10 paid sick days a year, and I was always going over those 10. It's just,
Oh, really? Oh, shoot.
which then when you do that, then those days are not counted for your retirement. So, I lost some years of service in the public school system. So,
Oh, dear. That's hard.
yeah. Well, I don't know where everybody else is, but it's nice to see you.
Yeah, we can still work on songs.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say hopefully everybody was gonna be here. I was gonna say we need to do mine first because it's the saddest, most depressing song. We need other
Oh,
songs to make it better.
working through stuff, huh?
Well, no, it's not.
Topic.
It's not about me. So it's about you'll see when we get to it. Whenever you want to jump into it, but
Sure, we can jump right in.
all right, okay, prepare yourself. Got your box of Kleenex handy?
I do actually right here.
Well, just realize this is not about me, but it's about, so, other people. So, all right, I'm gonna share that whole screen so you can see the lyrics, right?
Yep.
All right, here we go. My stomach's churning, palms start to sweat. They're choosing teams, no one's called my name yet. To be chosen last is not to be chosen at all. They only say my name while laughing in the hall. Well, I'm the one left out. Don't know where to begin. I'm not trying to get even. I just wanna fit in. Open my sack lunch, glued to my phone, texting my mother so I don't feel alone. To be chosen last is not to be chosen at all. They only say my name while laughing in the hall. Well, I'm the one left out. Don't know where to begin. I'm not trying to get even. I just wanna fit in. They say I'm different, and I don't agree. Give me a chance, let me be me. To be chosen last is not to be chosen at all. They only say my name while laughing in the hall. Well, I'm the one left out. Don't know where to begin. I'm not trying to get even. I just wanna fit in. I just wanna fit in. Pretty sad.
That is really sad and very touching. The chord progression is lovely. D minor, they say, is the saddest, right?
Saddest of all keys.
Yeah, I really think it's cool that you chose a G chord for the chorus. Um, and then the C add 9 kind of lifts up in a weird way,
Mhm.
especially with all the minors, you know. I love the E diminished line. Uh, let me see. There's something that stood out. I like the walk down after trying to get even. There's still a feeling of I don't get the feeling like of this wanting to fit in. It's almost like you feel like you're giving up. You know, what do you think? Do you want it to have a little bit of hope?
Uh, Good questions. So here's how this whole thing started. Remember we had that musical exercise like a few months ago where you picked a chord that didn't belong and John called it the odd man out?
The odd man out.
That's what got me thinking. And it's just like, well, I can't just, I have to make this gender neutral. I can't just say odd man. And then for a while I had odd, and I'm just like, well, shoot, I don't want anybody that relates to this song to think I'm calling them odd. So
Oh,
I
right. Of
I
course.
had to throw that out. And then, so this is not about me autobiographically, but as a teacher of 44 years, I
There's
would
a lot of kids you see,
see
right?
kids around class like this. I would have kids in my class. So it's kind of describing that.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, D minor is the saddest key, but and I didn't think, well, let's put a C add nine over name because I want that to be positive.
No,
I
of
just
course not. But
I
it kind of lifts when I hear it, you know.
yeah.
I think that's kind of cool. It almost gives a hopeful feeling. And then I just want to fit in. I don't know. I just felt this longing, sad feeling. And I didn't know if there should be some sort of way to have, I just want to fit in. Maybe that be explored. Like, how would we accentuate? How would we add emphasis to that line? Like, we all know as going away from high school that high school is not it, the be all end all. And we realize if we don't fit in there, we do find our way once we get out, you know.
We would hope, yeah. So
But we don't really want to create this happy, I just want to fit in, you know.
yeah.
So it's an interesting thing. Their longing and sadness sometimes just does belong in a song.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to paint a picture of, you know, their perspective at their current moment in time,
Mhm.
including lunch, because I've seen the kids, sitting by themselves and my Wednesday night group brought up, well, every kid's glued to their phone, so they wanted hiding in the phone, but then it didn't fit syllable wise. And so yeah, I didn't want to resolve it. So I mean, I made a conscious decision to not end on a D minor, but to put a sus2 there
Right.
because it's yet to be determined,
Yeah.
And
Landing
then
on
the
that E note instead of the F.
yeah, and then the chorus, I did want to kind of make it sound majory, but then the G A7 makes me think I'm going to go to a D, but no, I'm going to the D minor.
Yeah, I thought the melody choice was interesting on that first line because it sounds like it wants to go left out. But what note do you end on?
Left out. Yeah, whatever note that is. Out. I don't have a guitar handy.
Because
Mhm.
you don't want, that does not resolve. That whole phrase is like, I am in in limbo. Is
Yeah.
somebody going to ask me? I'm left out. Am I going to feel this forever? So that was a nice choice for a note there. I just think also one thing dynamically or just harmonically is that it feels a lot of the same.
Yeah.
The melody. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. We if that's the feeling that comes out for the whole thing. The bridge does change, but I feel like the melody range stays in the same area, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it did have a diff. There was contrast for sure, and definitely that in the bridge we always want to give more context to what's going on. You know, the verse one, we just reveal a little bit, and then the chorus, it's like what keeps repeating. And then the bridge is like, oh, here's the rest of the story. Like that guy on NPR, was he on or on the AM radio? And now for the rest of the story. I forgot, I gotta look it up.
That's great.
Uh, Paul Harvey, that's his name. Sorry, I went on a tangent.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, can we listen to it again?
You seriously want to subject yourself to this again?
Oh, it's not torture. It's interesting to live in the sadness.
Okay. All right.
I think all my emotions have turned off with my husband being in the hospital.
Yeah, okay. Here we go. My stomach's churning, palms start to sweat. They're choosing teams, no one's called my name yet. To be chosen last is not to be chosen at all. They only say my name while laughing in the hall. Well, I'm the one left out. Don't know where to begin. I'm not trying to get even. I just wanna fit in. Open my sack lunch, glued to my phone, texting my mother so I don't feel alone. To be chosen last is not to be chosen at all. They only say my name while laughing in the hall. Well, I'm the one left out. Don't know where to begin. I'm not trying to get even. I just wanna fit in. They say I'm different, and I don't agree. Give me a chance, let me be me. To be chosen last is not to be chosen at all. They only say my name while laughing in the hall. Well, I'm the one left out. Don't know where to begin. I'm not trying to get even. I just wanna fit in. I just wanna fit in.
Very cool. Yeah, I like how the phrases are sometimes back heavy. Having that the rest at the beginning of the measure, that it really adds some variation and a nice texture too. It almost feels like kind of behind everybody else. You know, like everybody's on the one, but this person's laying back a little bit. You know, it's good.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. What do you feel about it?
Um, I don't think this is a song I'll be playing a lot.
Just an exercise in drawing out sadness.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so here's the oh, is that John? Is he okay?
Oh no, just my text going.
Well,
Everybody's.
here's where I was this week. You know Tommy Walker, don't you?
Uh, did we meet him at one of your meetings?
No, no, no. He's a worship leader at Christian Assembly in Eagle Rock Church. He's written a bunch of these great worship songs with he's a guitarist that he throws in kind of jazz, gospel, rock, fusion, and all to his worship songs.
I have not been in that world for a while.
Okay, so I follow him on Instagram, and he had this thing that I thought sounded interesting a couple weeks ago. He goes, "Let's have a Zoom session where he calls it a songwriting masterclass."
Okay.
And so for an hour we're on Zoom, he answered some questions, and then he said, "Okay, put a scripture passage in the chat, and I'm going to write a song on the spot, a worship song."
Worship songs are pretty easy to throw together, huh?
Yeah, well, he's got lots of chops. I mean, he's not a Berkeley person, but he went to what would be called Musicians Institute, I think now, Guitar Institute of Technology back then, I think. So yeah, he wrote one and then he challenged us all to write one. So I started writing one, but some of the ones I don't listen to that many, but some of the ones I hear, I'm just like, that's not correct theology. And so I spent all this time like on the first verse finding Bible verses for everything I was saying, go, okay, this is correct theology. I got my pre-chorus, and the chorus was kind of anticlimactic, and I'm going, dang it, I've only got a couple of days to pull something together. And these lyrics were kind of like mostly done, and I've been avoiding them, you know.
Uh-oh.
And I,
Uh-oh.
and I even had some chords written out, but it was in D minor, but then I was like changing them. Um, so I was just like, okay, so I don't think I'll finish that worship tune in time. So I'll just,
Does he meet regularly?
uh, no, actually, but he did a survey at the end, where we could give our email address and ask what he wants to do. So he's written some great stuff. So he's the worship pastor there, but then he has his own thing, Tommy Walker Ministries,
Okay.
where they do this worship band and they'll play all over the world. And I mean, on his website, he will give away the stems and the charts
Wow.
to his songs, right? Because he wants it to be a ministry. So he challenged us all to write one because he wants to get that out. And he started to do this thing now on his Instagram where the last one I saw, he's one of those musicians, and if Tommy sees this, I'm sorry. He's a great talented musician, but I don't think he explains himself in the process. So
Okay.
he was talking about secondary dominance in his last Instagram post because he's trying to get Christian songwriters to write worship songs, but to kind of break out of the simple formula. You take a phrase and repeat it 7 times, and all that stuff.
Right.
Um, so he's implied that he wants to do more of these in the future. He said, "Well, what do you want? Do you also want songwriting classes, guitar lessons? Do you want music production classes?" So I checked all of those boxes, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm up for all of it."
Wow, good.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with him, you should check him out. I mean, he's got like, I don't know, 10 albums out or something like that.
Good.
Um, but I don't know if you've heard that old classic song, "You've Turned My Morning into Dancing." I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly, I was a music director until, let me think when it was 2011, I think.
Yeah.
And I do have a worship song on my new album coming out, and it just sort of happened. I probably showed it to you in your time. Did I ever show that to you?
I think so. I think you played it once at one of those song circles we did during the lockdown.
Did we play it live?
No. So,
It wasn't in the lockdown. It was I wrote it last winter. last.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I heard it or not.
Oh, maybe I should play it for you.
And what were you planning on playing today?
I didn't have anything. I I just have to tell you that the last this since the September, it's been the busiest season of my entire life. And then ever since we got sick, it's just compounded. And I've had
Yeah.
uh, lots of gigs that of music that I just had never played in my life. The gigs are kind of ending now, so I joined a country band, which was really interesting, and then
Wow.
we just had a gig last night. I think I have one more. And then I'm going to be playing with Jerry Valona. He has a new album coming out next Thursday. So I had songs to prepare for that. One more rehearsal, and then the gig is next Thursday. So that will be ending. I haven't written a song. I'm trying to think. I mean, we wrote chorus. I have wonderful ideas for songs. I started writing a journal article. I still have to finish up my last two songs for my album because I really definitely want to get that out. But I'm kind of in the process right now of we're going to get it mastered, but where and I don't know. It's just kind of in limbo. Everything feels in limbo.
Hmm.
But I have not written a song.
Hmm. Well, the reason I was kind of putting everything, well, it seems like I put things off all the time, but I was taking a 6 week music production class, and there was really no time to, I barely touched my guitar. It was just the only time I touch it is if I'm needing to record something. So I need to change that, but gosh.
It's a lot of work.
But yeah, I mean, you're teaching at two different places.
And I had to create the curriculum of 5 classes.
What? You didn't get it from the previous teacher?
Well, it's like you get the syllabus, but then each lesson on the syllabus, I need to prepare for that every week. I created all the syllabus in August and part of September. And so now it's like each week I got to make the lesson plans. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, say this and talk about this. It's basically like this. Well, for two of the classes, I got the syllabus. The other ones I wrote myself. So it's like it's so intense. And then there's so much grading. All 5 classes have assignments every week. I find that some of my students are just mentally wiped, you know. The seniors this year graduating from college graduated high school in 2020. I think
Wow.
every people are just overwhelmed. The world is overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed. So, but it's wonderful. Oh my gosh, I love every minute. And then I joined a writing group and I'm in the process of wanting to write a journal article. So I'm doing a bunch of research. It's just like, why? I don't know why I ended up taking all this stuff, but you know how as a musician, you send out a bunch of ships and maybe one or two come in, but like this time, all the ships came in.
Wow.
So I'm just sort of doggy paddling.
Well, if I can remember back to your posts, you're filling in for someone's class load. Does that end at this semester or does that go all okay?
Yeah, and I do love that college. It's so close. It's 25 minutes. It's beautiful. The students are so great. It's a very small music department, and the classes I'm teaching aren't only for music majors, so it's kind of cool uh, sharing music with people that aren't necessarily making it a career, but they have the appreciation and they have the talent too. A lot of them are very talented at creating music and understanding it, you know, but they're like studying physics or communication, you know, it's neat.
Yeah.
And then all the people at Shenandoah, they are majoring in either songwriting or it's called CMed. So it's a major of it's business minor with a music major. It's pretty cool.
So that one will continue next semester. The one close to you, when does that semester end?
December 15th.
So you got some,
Gonna be wrapping up.
Yeah, so that'll give you a little bit more time.
Yeah. And it's wonderful. I'm not complaining at all. It just feels like every day there's something to do. And I'm really proud of myself for keeping up on it. But of course, the stuff that's really important, like my own songwriting and finishing my own album, it's like that's gone to the back burner. But I don't know. It's just like I can only, I guess I'm not really the best at multitasking.
Well, and that's tough to do,
I
but
can multitask, but it's like I just do enough for what this week is.
yeah, no, that's so there's a couple of things about teaching. The first year is like killer, right? After the first year, teachers are ready to quit, and you're just like, well, wait, you just created this curriculum. You
Right,
can use
right.
that again next time, right?
And just
So,
modify it each week.
yeah, yeah. So once you get the first year or two over with and you've got your stuff together, you're not having to invent it all the time, then it gets easier. So
Yeah.
there's that thing,
I
but
have
then,
the plans for each week. Oh, like this topic, and this is what I've researched, and this is how I'm presenting. Yeah,
yeah.
there won't be as much preparation.
Yeah, the other thing about teaching is, it's consuming. It's time consuming because then there's all that grading, and if
Yeah.
so it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and sometimes people need extra help, so your office hours are filled.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty awesome, though. I really absolutely love it. I love everything about it.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, your enthusiasm about it has been obvious to all.
I'm trying to find all my songs. Maybe it's just under, oh, final mixes. Here it is. So this song I wrote, I was taking a genre survey class and we were able, well, one week we had to pick a song off the Christian charts. And then at the end, we had to write a song. And I was like, I'm going to write a Christian song. And it was actually something that I just sang as a mantra to myself. I think I have played this for you when I think back, but maybe not the final mix. See if
Yeah,
I is it. It has a hallelujah in it. That's the all creatures of our God and King. Does that sound familiar?
yeah, yeah. But it's, be good to hear it again, especially if it's the final mix. By the way, your post on the songwriting group thing about your process.
Oh, that was Drew.
That was Drew's the quotes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Drew wrote that. Drew
All
Burton.
right.
Okay, I don't know why I can't find the lyrics.
I'll have to give Drew a hard time about not being here. I wonder if he didn't have a song.
Oh, maybe. I know he's pretty busy though. He has. Okay, I'm just gonna find it on Google.
And I'll find Drew and send him a message.
Where are you, dude?
Yeah.
So the cool thing about this song is my boss not really, the chair of my department at Shenandoah, I had him play piano on it, and he's so good. His dissertation was on gospel piano.
Wow.
All right. So if you are joining us on YouTube, thank you. Okay, where is it? Here we go. Now this has not been mastered, but I think the mix is pretty good. Lost my feet. Can you hear okay? In the sinking sand. Lost my way, letting go of your hand. Tried my best on my own. If I only knew all along I was found. Don't know what tomorrow brings, all the things I think I need. Fall to dust and you pick me up. You know all of me in your time. Your pretty full.
I was talking, but I muted myself to hear the music. No, that's great. And that's some tasty piano and then, more than one vocalist on there gives it kind of that gospel choiry feel to it. But that's I mean, it's a great tune, but I was like, man, that's a hard topic to write or to give up and just say in your time. That's a hard thing to do. Uh, to wait for the Lord and wait for something because
No, I was waiting for a job and I was just thinking, I don't know why this is happening. I kept applying. I got so many rejections. And so that's why it was so amazing that to have my boss play on this because I was singing this all through the Christmas time, just thinking, I know there's a job, and I know that once I get the job, I'll realize that it was a waiting period, and of course, it was going to end out in my favor. But then when he finally called and said, "Hey, would you like an interview?" It just felt like everything fell together at that point. But I
yeah,
had to sing that to myself in the darkness. And it was such an interesting thing. Being a worship director, you're just immersed in faith, and maybe we take it for granted. But then having this song during that dark period, the unknown, it really helped me through. I guess
yeah,
that's what worship songs are for,
yeah,
in the waiting, thinking ahead, having faith through it all.
yeah.
What's your worship song about?
Gosh, I have to find it. Um, oh, well, the basic premise, and I think the last time I wrote a worship song was like in 2007. Um, and so it's a similar premise, and that's so one of the songs I heard recently was kind of basically the thing singing to God, you complete me kind of thing. And I'm just like, it's a little too self-centered for me, that. So what I was working on was very similar to the last one I wrote in 2007, which the topic was I was listing everything God has done that we can see listed in the Bible. And then um, the response is all we can do is basically praise you. you know? So that's the theme of my 2007 one that I wrote. I'm trying to figure out if I even made this to a Google Doc yet, or if this was still on a notes on my phone. So that's what I was checking real quickly. Um, yeah, and so I mean, that was kind of a reaction to, oh, I don't see it on the notes of my phone. It must be somewhere. That was kind of a reaction to that song that I heard is like, you complete me. And I'm just like, no, no, that's too self-centered. Let's talk about all the things God has done versus all that we can basically do. And that's basically that my 2007 was is called We Choose to Worship You, because basically the only thing we can do really is we can choose
And
the
that's why he
Christian.
gave us free choice.
Yeah, yeah, we can choose the Christian faith and we can choose to worship him or not. And that is essentially basically when I thought about it was all basically that we can do. And if we don't, then the rocks cry out, right? So
But when we do, it brings him joy. That's amazing.
yeah,
I think about my own children and how I feel rejected by them a lot because they're teenagers right now, and of course they'd rather choose their friends. But then when they do choose me, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it feels so good because it's their choice. And I've really
yeah,
worked on that. Like I'm not the kind of parent that rules with an iron fist, and I'm more like you know, I want them to have the freedom and the courage to be themselves. and to tell me, okay, no, I don't want to do that today. I have this other thing I'm going to do. And that's good. That's empowering. I don't know that I had that when I was a child, you know? It was like
No.
my life was dictated. And maybe that's the difference between Gen X and the generation we're raising.
Yeah.
Did you find it? You found your.
Yeah, it's actually a Google Doc. So yeah, I'll show you the lyrics. Yeah, I'll share my screen and show the lyrics. Let's make it a little smaller so they all fit in the same thing. I get to this point in time where I'm older and it's like it's hard to see small text. So I make it
I
larger.
do things all the time.
Let's see. So back to sharing. Yeah, this is as far as I got with that. Here we go. So, and this is how uptight I was about it, was trying to make it theologically correct. So I have footnotes.
Oh, citations.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like back to the days of writing term papers. I'm like, I'm gonna make sure this is theologically correct, and the only way to do that is to cite my sources. And so, for every line, so you spoke the word and put the stars in their place. Okay, so where is that? Okay, that's
I
in
like
Genesis
to do
1.
that too. Sometimes there are these worship songs sound more like love songs. Like you could just play it on secular radio and it's like, but we
Yeah.
definitely want to be true to what the Bible says about God.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna choose that genre to write, you want to make sure it's theologically correct.
Mhm.
And I can't think of that one song that just kind of they chose a word in the title that was just, and I don't even remember it. So yeah, you spoke the word, put the stars in their place, and then to rhyme, you bless us and keep us with the glory of your face. And I'm just like, well, okay, so that's in Numbers 6:24 to 26. You incline your ears to us and always hear our cry, so I cited that. You instruct us, teach us, and guide us with your eye, and I've got all the sources for that. And then the pre-chorus, in you all things hold together, you hold us in your righteous right hand. But then I got to the chorus and I was just, so again, I was in this theme of verse and pre-chorus is everything God does. And the chorus is basically what we can do, kind of ripping off my own idea. But I got here and it's just like, they're so short after having long. I was just like, is this anticlimactic? We will praise you, righteous and true, the King of all kings. We lift our voices and sing. And then I was just like, I can do better than that. So
Maybe that could be the verse. And look at how wonderful it is. In you, all things hold together. To me,
yeah.
that would sum up anything.
So this
But
would
have
be
that
like,
be the chorus.
good
That's
idea.
your righteous right hand. I don't know. I mean,
That's
why would we praise him? Like without this thing binding us together, we would just be flying through the universe.
that's true.
That's
That's
the
true.
reason to worship God.
Yeah, so I mean that's as far as I got on that, and then I just kind of felt like I hit a wall, and I was just like, well, I want to have something for Saturday. So
You
the
wrote that
other one, I
voice.
realized I had all the lyrics and I had chords. And then I looked at my phone and I'm like, well, I don't have anything in the voice memo of me singing into those chords. So then I changed it. Um, and actually, okay, so my music theory, I did not have all the chords in a minor key memorized. So I have a PDF that I created with all of that for every key. So I had to look it up. And then I'm just like, and then it was just today I realized I actually wrote a song with every chord because there's like I thought it.
Representative. And then you have a minor seven flat five and a diminished.
Yeah, seventh, yeah. Which normally those chords don't. Well, the minor seven flat five might make it, but a diminished usually doesn't make it into many people's songs,
I know. Unless
unless.
it's a gospel or a hymn.
Yeah, yeah,
Chord on every beat. I love that.
yeah. So I mean, for that Left Out song, I was trying to keep the melody of the verses in a small, tight space. So I went from the minor seven flat five to the diminished seven to the dominant seven, and those are just different by one note in each one place. So I'm just like, well, this will keep everything close together if I do that. So yeah, it was interesting.
You decide to record it, you can create some really neat harmonies in the vocals if you ever like
That's
got that on.
That's my downfall. I am horrible at creating harmonies.
Oh, really?
Um, I mean, I'm not used to singing harmonies. I haven't sung in a choir, so some people they seriously in my hosting an open mic for 5 years in the before times. I seriously, I said this. I said, here's a new song. You guys haven't heard it before, but if anybody wants to come up and try to sing a harmony on it, go for it. I had two different people on two different occasions do that. And I'm just like, how can you create a harmony part when you haven't heard the song before and you're making it up on the spot? I mean, I had the lyrics and the chords in front of them, and I'm just like, I can't do that.
Well, I mean, if you write a nice enough melody, it's usually easy to catch on. That's the
Mhm.
idea of a chorus is to create a memorable melody, a melodic motif that somebody can grab onto, and then you can highlight it with a harmony.
Yeah,
But
I
it's thinking vertically instead of horizontally, you know? Usually a third or a fifth, if you don't have the third, it sounds a little hollow, but uh, it's fun. You should practice it. It's easy when if you're doing it in the software.
yeah, so I actually did that on one song, and I need to re-record the parts because I realized the guitar was kind of out of tune at some spots.
Oh, that's
It's the D chord, the infamous D chord, and I'm just like, it's a Gibson Les Paul short scale with with nines. I'm like, am I pulling it out,
the
or
G
what?
is always horrible on a Les Paul.
D chords?
On the G string,
Ah, okay,
might be the A note.
yeah.
The
So on
D.
that one, I was able to sing my own harmonies. I was like, whew, I did it once. I sang a third above, but here, here I am. I've got my phone with GarageBand on the phone and the piano there. And so I'm like,
You
oh,
know,
so yeah, I'm holding that up to my one headphone off and I'm holding that up. And I go, okay. And I'm using a dynamic mic, an SM7B, so that won't bleed in, right before it hits record,
oh,
right? I'm
I
like,
do that too, and I'm like, hmm, 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 and then it comes up, and I have to find my note. So I just sing it before, and you can just erase it.
ah.
It's not, you don't just have it perfectly. It's something you work on.
Yeah, well, I need to work on that. I'm still working on ear training. I mean, I still can't hear, and I still can't hear. Like right now, I've got this little program and a web page. I'm just trying to do minor third, fifth, and octave, and I don't always get 100%. I'm just like, what's up with it, you guys? You should be working better,
It can be confusing, especially if it's an inversion. Like
Well,
a minor third is a major sixth. If you look at the opposite, so it's kind of hard to hear sometimes. I have
yeah.
trouble with inversions. John's like, "Oh, it's a minor seven with the third in the bass," going through, and I'm like, "Dang, I didn't hear that one."
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to catch up for all the years, when teaching, right? For like the 9 months, you don't have a whole lot of time for music, and then summer comes around. Okay, now I had the summer off. I'm just like, time to be a musician now. But,
I
you
know.
know, I never took guitar lessons or voice lessons or music theory lessons, so I'm trying to catch up.
It's just a life process, a journey. You never learn it all. That's
Yeah.
I have a degree in guitar performance. It's like I should be a master, but I don't know. I'm still plucking away at it a little at a time. But I'm so happy that I get to have this life of music. It's just crazy. I got a gig tonight, a gig on Thursday. I have a rehearsal on Monday, a rehearsal. I don't know if we'll have the rehearsal on Tuesday. It just depends on John. But then my students are we're doing a music technology showcase next Wednesday. I'm so excited to show their projects that they've been working on. And then the gig on Thursday. I don't think I have a gig next weekend though.
Wow.
Oh, it's been so long.
Huh.
It was so crazy because every Friday, Saturday, I was doing gigs before the
Hmm.
pandemic. And then it was like no gigs. And then the gigs slowly started coming back. And then next thing you know, it's like there's more gigs than I can even do right now. Oh my gosh, why did I say yes? But I'm happy. I'll look back on this and go, wow, I did a lot. And I'm real happy I did it.
Yeah.
So
Now,
anyway,
is Shenandoah a private school or is that a public?
it's a private college.
Okay.
Yep. So there's about 4,000 students. 2,000 of them are not on the campus that I work on. They're at the hospital, I think, or it's more the medical side. And then my portion of the university is called the conservatory,
Hmm.
Shenandoah Conservatory. So it's all music. And I was just thinking, every time I walk through there and I'm going from class to class, I hear the music is so different than what I would hear at Berkeley. Because at Berkeley, you hear lots of jazz and lots of pop and rock as you're walking through the halls. But this is classical and musical theater. And there's this brass ensemble that rehearses on Friday mornings. So I can hear them. It's like this thing. That's amazing. I just love it.
So is that the day that you teach then is Fridays?
Yeah, at Shenandoah. And I'm on Stonehill on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Wow. And then how's the commute been lately?
Well, to Shenandoah, fine. I don't go every week. It's just about half the semester. But I take the same route every time. It's 80 or 90 to 84 to 81. And then once you're on 81 for 213 miles, you just get off and it's just right there.
Hmm.
I was staying at the same hotel for a while, but I teach at Stonehill until like 2:30 and then I've got to take off and go straight down. And I was almost there. It was like 11:45 in the night and the hotel called and said, "We're so sorry. We have to cancel your booking because on the website our hotel was already all filled up." But for some reason I was like, "Do you think you could have told me before 15 minutes before I'm supposed to arrive?" It was so crazy. So I was like, I'm never staying there again. But
So
it's I don't know.
hopefully you did find a place to stay. Okay, good.
Miraculously, but it was a stress fest.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to go to ukulele club in 1 minute.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
end songwriting club and jump into ukulele club. And if you're joining us on YouTube, we are here once a month. We like to write songs. We like to talk about songs, and we kind of focus more on the music theory, right? Would you say that?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
About lyrics, but
challenge for next month.
oh,
What about a dominant seventh? No, secondary dominant.
very
Second.
dominant. Let's do it in the chorus.
Wow. That's
Empathy,
specific.
emphasizing a very important word.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, I'll make a note of it. All right, cool. Thanks, Dave.
Hey, see you in ukulele.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Something in the chat. Oh, I see. Oh, there's the website for TommyWalkerMinistries.org. If
Yep.
anybody. All right, see you later in a minute.
Okay. Bye.